Welcome to the Blockchain Business Update.
Hi there, and thank you for joining me. Welcome to the very first edition of the Blockchain Business Update. I'm your host, Kevin Turner, broadcasting here in my studio located in beautiful downtown Cary, North Carolina. I'm really excited to launch this video podcast. There are so many emerging business use cases in the blockchain world, and I am not going to have any problem finding important stories to talk about. So tune into every episode. I don't want you to miss anything. Some of you might recognize me. Well, probably only if you're a friend or family member, so hello. I imagine if you found your way here, you have more than a passing interest in the blockchain, and you're not here just for my obvious dashing good looks. So as the name implies, we're here to talk about the blockchain as it relates to business. My goal in these videos is to be a go-to source of information on new and innovative ways people are actually using blockchain technology. Most of the examples will be products past the conceptual stage, but we all know there are far more conceptual solutions floating around than real ones. But I'm going to wade through all of that so you don't have to. At this point, it's not my intention for this to be Blockchain 101, not even a basic description of what the blockchain is or how it works, nor is it a technical how-to of smart contracts, how to get into mining, or why my consensus algorithm is better than yours. I'm not going to pretend I'm an expert of any kind in the advanced technical concepts of this technology, because in a lot of ways, I know just enough to be dangerous. But I am a pretty good idea guy, and I have a knack for visualizing solutions, and it's the implementation that counts. That's what truly disrupts how we do things and creates new ways to be useful in society. There are bona fide experts who have created excellent online content, and I encourage you to learn specific from people who generally know what they're doing and talking about, so you don't end up saying encryption when you mean hashing. I will stick with hashing helping people already interested in the blockchain and who know enough to recognize how and why it can have this huge impact that so many people are talking about, but are mostly curious to figure out how businesses are actually using it to solve problems. There it is. Solving problems. The real promise of the blockchain. That's where it has impact. How are innovative people disrupting and creating new markets? Of course, if you've reached this video and you like me and you would watch a segment on technical basics because you're caught up in the hype and you feel left out of dinner party conversations, maybe you need help understanding enough about it to know how the pieces fit together. I'll be there for you, and I'll work on a video that tries to narrow down the technical aspects of blockchain as it relates to business. As long as there are enough people who swear a solemn vow to actually watch it. I also think there are plenty of places on the interwebs to get all of the information you ever want on cryptocurrency and investing in coins. It's really not my sweet spot anyway. So I don't intend to spend much time on that subject. I won't be discussing the hottest Ponzi scheme, ICO release, or updating the price of Ether or Bitcoin, or the relative merits of coins I'm just not going to know anything about. I don't view coins as solving a problem or just advancing the decentralized concept into usable business products. Here is an exception. Situations where I have a personal interaction and the coin seems to provide genuine business value. I met the creator of a coin called Coval, Circuits of Value. He's here in Raleigh, and he explained some specific intrinsic values like using crypto gift cards in e-commerce. And since I'm sure this is not the only coin that is more than a play to end the international monetary system, I will try to be open-minded enough to get that information out there, and there's more on that specific coin in a future segment. There's a line of thought that the only way to make money using the blockchain today is to host a conference, and I suppose there's some truth to that. However, after attending my first blockchain conference called Cryptolina here in Raleigh, I found that spending time with people who are knowledgeable and enthusiastic really helped me with ideas and new thoughts, and the networking aspect will pay off for some time. I was most encouraged by the number of non-currency related talks and vendors. I understand this is a change from past years. And I believe around half of the talks were dedicated to people speaking about actual business solutions. Consensus is a company becoming a major player in the blockchain around the world, and they talked about Kaleido. It's an enterprise-level framework to simplify creating software as a service applications, and also the first blockchain solution to partner with Amazon Web Services. Even better, it's created by a team here in Raleigh. That is adding to the buzz around the triangle as the place to be for blockchain and blockchain knowledge. Of course, even more so because of this channel. There was also an original rap song about the blockchain. Who knew? Performed by the leader of a small company working to put music in the chain. He and his team wrote this original song, and after talking about the business and technology, he turns around, takes off his jacket, and launches into a full-on rap performance. It was tremendous. I definitely salute him for having the guts to do that at such an unexpected venue. And I want to say he reminded me of some famous rapper like Drake or someone, but I figured that would just prove how little I really know about rap music, especially if you were there. To get the ball rolling in this first episode, I'm going to talk about art. You might think that's an odd and unrelated case to start out with, but it's a market worth billions of dollars worldwide, and I'm really just intrigued by the art world. I used to watch a show from the BBC called Lovejoy. Check it out if you get a chance. It's a really quirky look at an art historian and investigator. Ironically, though, I'll say right off the bat, I am going to deviate from a point I made repeatedly at the beginning and talk about something that is just a concept. But it's one that I believe really captures the essence of why so many people are spending time and money despite not much to show for it in the blockchain. One of the most important aspects of pricing and evaluating art is provenance, or the proof of when and where that piece has been since it was created by the artist. Expensive works establish value using provenance plus things like style of the brush strokes and consistency with other known works by the same artist. This usually takes place at respected art houses, but even then there's no guarantee that the painting in the authentication document is the same work sitting right in front of you with that $50,000 price tag. Now, imagine walking up to that beautiful painting that's calling you to take it home and opening an app on your phone and getting an instant result from an art database validating the provenance and authenticity. I'm sure you'll feel a lot more confident writing that big check when there's so little doubt about its actual history. This might be possible in the not too distant future thanks to IBM. They are creating a computer about the size of a grain of salt that is then linked into a blockchain system. It's pretty intriguing by itself, but this small computer can also take shape as an ink dot or some other indistinguishable form factor. They call it a cryptographic anchor, and it can be attached to any physical item, hidden and probably nearly impossible to see or find on something like artwork. It's a really exciting idea, and I think it's what most people envision when they talk about managing physical objects on the blockchain. And it's very much like any other supply chain solution. This convergence of tracking something physical from beginning to end, and at the same time documenting it in a distributed and decentralized manner. It's a use case where all parties derive tremendous value because it eliminates some risk, meaning the art can command a higher price both now and in a future sale. I think it will also make the creator of this art database very happy, since people in that world spend crazy amounts of money. And better yet, there might be some invites to fancy parties with bubbly fermented refreshments. I'm definitely into that, so I hope to be part of this solution in the future. Going forward, I will strive to be informative and humorous if I can manage. I'll present ideas from a slightly different perspectives, which is not that difficult for someone who isn't that normal. In upcoming episodes, I will examine blockchain solutions in the legal world, more about Kaleido, look at a unique way to advertise with opinion leaders, and talk about a company I personally think is positioned to have a giant impact on how we view the nature of decentralized applications, plus a whole lot more. I do want to hear from you on topics that you'd like to see in the future and would interest you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing more views next week after you've had a chance to tell all of your friends. I will end this episode on a somewhat sad note. I was away from home for a few days recently, and when I returned, I found all of my silk plants were dead. I had apparently forgotten to fake water them. Now, I'm off to walk over to my favorite brewery in North Carolina, Bond Brothers. I'm going to enjoy a delicious beverage on the patio, and I'll see you next time.